Good evening, gentlemen. Today we're going to start the video with a story. There once was a young man. He was 16, 17. He was about ready to be a man. And his parents could see that. They could see him wanting to be a man. They see he wanted to be independent. So they said, you know what? You're ready to be a man. We're going to start putting you on that path. So as this young man, we're going to call him Steve. As Steve went on with his life, he went down this path. He continued walking along this path. Now he came to a point when he was about 18 years old that there was a fork in the road. And there were two ways that he could go. He could choose the left path. And the left path looked actually really hard. The left path looks really difficult and just overgrown, fog. There's like a mountain in the distance and you can see like people are climbing the mountain, but there's very few people that are on this path. This guy's like, that does not look like much fun. That looks lame. And he looks at the right path, and the right path is easy. It's like a beautiful meadow that's like descending into a valley, and there's like trees, green, luscious life. It's so vibrant, right? I'm gonna throw up some pictures to give you ideas of what this looks like. I mean, it is like a well-worn path. It's safe. There is, this is safe for anybody. Go down this path for sure. And you can see a lot of people went down it. So he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna go with the crowd, right? Everybody can't make a mistake. If everybody's making a decision, it can't be a mistake. So he goes down this path. So he goes to college, and he meets a beautiful girl. They start dating. He's actually enjoying his life. He is, he's going into the valley a little bit. Again, metaphorical as he's going along this path, right? He starts, drinking on the weekends. He's enjoying that. He's enjoying spending time with his buddies. He's in college. He's seeing, like, every once in a while, he'll see, like, a young entrepreneur who's not at college, who's like, you need to get out of college, go do something else, go make some value. He's like, dude, I don't need to worry about that right now. I'm literally in college. So he continues on. And eventually, at some point, his girlfriend breaks up with him because he's not actually doing anything with his life. He's just been at college, stumbled his way through classes, drank Thursday, Friday, Saturday, sometimes Sunday, and he's gotten into these habits that have continued to put his life down. And the road and the path that originally seemed so great and luscious, he's starting to realize that he keeps going deeper into the valley. So one day, he finds himself at a bar, and he's drinking all of his worries away, doesn't want to think about his ex, and a guy sitting next to him, and he says, hey, can I get a water, please? And Steve looks at this guy, he's like, why would you get a water? You're at a bar. And the other guy looks at him and says, I don't drink. It's not a part of my lifestyle. Steve says, why would you be at a bar? You're not going to drink. The other guy said, well, it's just not something I don't like to do it. Steve couldn't understand why. The other guy said, well, what path did you choose? And Steve said, well, I chose the right path, the easy one. And the other guy looked at him and said, doesn't look like you're having much fun. And Steve looks at himself and realizes that it really wasn't worth it. And Steve says, okay, well, the left path looks really hard. And the other guy said, yeah, it is. It is hard, but it's rewarding. And do you want a life where you're being rewarded for every little thing that you do that's insignificant, or only being rewarded for the things that matter? Because then you're encouraged to just work for the things that matter in your life. And Steve flipped him off and left. See, the moral of the story here is that you have to choose a path. You have to choose a path that you're going to go down, that understanding that there is a certain end goal in mind. Are you going to choose the left path or the right path? And this is the beginning of living a purpose-driven life. Now, you can go to college, and you can think, I'm just going to waste 4 years at college, waste $200,000 on a degree for a job that doesn't require the degree, and then at some point, I'll end up on the left path. At some point, I'll end up in the good life, the path of life. At some point, I'll leave college and I'll get that good job, and now I'm living the good life, even though you're addicted to alcohol, and you're insecure because women don't like you, because you're 25 and you can't hold a relationship, and you put on a lot of weight from college drinking and food, college food. You haven't worked out, because why would you do things that are hard? It's not rewarding. Which path are you going to choose? Today we're going to talk about purpose-driven life in living as a man that's moving forward. The importance of your purpose early on in your life. is that you're moving towards your 5-year goals, your 1-year goals. You're actually moving towards what these goals are, and you want to achieve them. Do you want to be a man who succeeds? Because you either succeed or you fail. There's no in between. If you don't set goals, you fail at everything. Now, if you do set goals, but you don't hit the goals, that's okay. As long as you set the goal and you're working towards that goal, you're going to be a better person. Even if it's 1% better, that's better than being 10% worse, even though it may have been hard work for you to get to that point. The next point that I want to talk about is practical steps to discover your purpose. Now, purpose is a very hard subject for me to talk about because it's different for everyone. For me, this is my purpose. My purpose is to inspire young men to develop a sense of belonging and a sense to provide value to people where there wasn't value previously. This is so important for me to be able to minister to you, to be able to help you grow. So how do you discover your purpose? For me, it took 3 months of seeking ways to provide value to people and finding the way in which I like to do it best. You have to actually get experience to find your purpose. So go work the part-time job or the full-time job, right? Go meet those people, go on the trip that you've always wanted to go on, save up, right? Be responsible, but try a lot of different things in which ways that people find purpose. Some people's purpose is to help others get in shape. Some people's purpose is to spread, their religion, their gospel, whatever it is, right? So there's a lot of different ways that you can develop a purpose for your life. But ultimately, the way that I found my purpose was to set up 5 pillars in my life that are most important to me. It helps to have these pillars labeled with a certain letter, or to begin, each word starts with a single letter. For me, it's faith, family, fitness, finances, and film. These 5 things are most important to me to be able to develop a purpose in my life and to be able to move forward. So as I continue to plan out my 5-year goals, my 1-year goal, my 3-month goals, I'm able to actually plan these goals according to my pillars. So as a man, you need to establish your pillars to be able to find your purpose. What's important to you? What truly is important to you? Maybe it's friends, maybe it's traveling, maybe it could be any of those things. And then you look at all 5 of those pillars and you figure out, what are they holding up? What is your purpose? So I encourage you to do a lot of self-searching and seeking, praying, asking God, what is your purpose in life? I've found mine, and I'm glad that I found mine at an early age because there's a lot of people who don't. I encourage you to continue searching. The third point that I want to talk about today is building a life around your purpose. So we've talked first, the introduction, the story of choosing the right path, right? Defining the importance of your purpose early on. Sorry, if I'm glancing down, I have my computer screen here and I've got notes going that I've written out that I am being able to talk about. So, I'll try to share my notes with you as well in the description of this video so you can follow along. I encourage you to write them down as well. But first, we talked about the importance of defining your purpose early on. By defining your path, what path are you going to follow? Now, the second point is practical steps to discovering your purpose. Develop your 5 pillars. What are the 5 pillars in your life that are so important, and there's nothing else to you that takes the place in front of those? Nothing else. So for me, in level of importance, it's faith and family, and finance and fitness and film. Nothing else comes before my faith. And then the only thing that comes before family is my faith. Right? These are important things to me, and they need to be important to you as well. Not in necessarily the ones that I have. You need to determine for yourself what those are. You can copy mine, you can make your own, it's up to you. The third point that we're going to talk about today is building a life around your purpose, right? So we briefly touched on it just a couple minutes ago. How do you build a life around your purpose? The way that you do this is building healthy rhythms into your week. To be able to put actionable steps to your 3-month goals, your 1-year goals, and your 5-year goals, right? So things that I've been able to do to my life to be able to move forward on these rocks or these rhythms in my life is setting up a to-do list to be able to know each week what are the things that I have to do that'll put me closer to the goals. I only work towards my goals every single time. So I encourage you to do the same. When you're setting out your to-do list, what are the things that you can do this week that will put you further towards that goal? The second step that I would have for you is to name each day. A way that I've been able to do this is have days like Marketing Monday or Thunder Thursday, right? I know that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but let me explain. What those do is it helps me to set a work block into my life that for 3 hours in each of those days, I work specifically on those things. So I work my part-time job in the morning, I work out even earlier than that, but then when I come home from my part-time job, I then work on my businesses, I work on creating this YouTube channel, I work on creating content to be able to get to these young guys out here. So that's my purpose, is that I'm positively moving forward, and the best way for me to be able to do that is to label each day and then to set my to-do list into each of these days as well. So in that 3-hour work block, I'm accomplishing everything that I need to do for that to-do list, and it's not like thinking, oh, I can get to this later. No, I'm getting to this on Thursday, on Thunder Thursday, where I do most of my goals, or I'm getting to this on Film Friday, right? Because all of my film is happening on Friday. So does that make sense? Anyways, okay, so now we've talked about the 2 actionable steps there. This is how you develop, as a young man, this purpose in your life that puts you forward and doesn't put you backwards. This is the life where you choose the left path. It's not at all easy, but I'm so thankful that I made the decision to move forward with my life when I was 17, 18 years old, and I consciously decided I wanted to actually move forward. And it hasn't been easy. I've gone through some rough breakups. I've gone through just rough life decisions because of sometimes I chose the right path instead of the left. But I'm so thankful for the times that I chose the left path that it motivates me to continue to choose the path of life. So which will you choose, life or death? As we conclude the video, I'm praying for you. I'm praying for both of our success. Know that I'm always rooting for you, and I'm excited to see where you grow. Thank you.